to the very worst, a podcast that is only about all the Pokemon movies. My name is Ashley Stoneman.
I'm Pat Reber.
And I'm Matt Allcamp.
And we are...
Today we're going to jump into...
I'm sorry.
Do we have a name, Pat?
It sounded
I'm
like
sorry,
we need
Pat.
to...
Yeah, should we have a group, like we're a D&D party? Should we
A
have
group
a group
name?
name?
I am not doing an improv group name.
I think we should
not
be
happening.
Matt and the Allcamps.
I think you should go fuck yourself.
Okay.
Why call the Stone Mans? How
The
about that?
Stoned Mans.
The Stone
I
Mans.
like that, actually. I'll vote for that one
Okay,
over
cool.
Matt and the all
Matt's on board.
All right, I'm on board. What are the Stoned Man? What are we going to talk
The
about
Stone
today?
people.
I've got some personal news.
Personal
Ooh.
news.
I got married. I recently got married. We had a secret wedding. We eloped in London.
Pat.
Very excited about it.
What?
Yay.
Fuck?
It's a secret wedding. It's a new
I'm your
trend.
best friend. And you didn't tell me about this?
I did tell you about that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
told both of you about this. It was like 3 weeks ago.
Sorry,
something
I don't
like
read
that,
your text messages.
Yeah, he actually announced on the last episode that he was going to be in the UK.
I don't listen to these things.
Okay, great.
How was your wedding?
It was really great. It was beautiful. We had a beautiful ceremony. We had a lot of fun.
Aw.
I toured London. It was a wonderful city.
How does it feel to be a
Good.
married man? Do you feel like a married man? Do you wake up in the morning and you're like, yes, I am a married man like my dad was?
Was twice. And probably never.
Well, you have a lot of time to live up to his legacy.
Yeah.
That's true. No, it feels great. I'm very happy to be married. I forgot to wear my wedding ring today, so there's still some adjustments I need to
Yeah, you told me that, and I don't think you're allowed to actually be. I think it's against the law.
Yeah, I think that's
for you
illegal.
to not wear. It's illegal.
make. No. She forgot her wedding rings today too, so
No,
we
I know,
cancel each
but
other out.
that's also
that's illegal.
You're not officially married.
I called the
if you
cops,
don't
but they
wear-
hung up on me. But I'm going to call them again tomorrow
and let them know.
and let them know. I should take some pictures of your hand while we're here recording.
No, don't.
really quick.
Okay, as a married man, how did it feel to sit and watch a Pokemon movie?
Oh, like a true burden of married life. It's like before I was married, it was like, this kind of sucks. But now that I'm married, now that I'm married and watching Pokemon movies, it feels like I'm
Because
really not starting my life.
because like 2 weeks ago, you're just a kid roving around, dropping acid, flipping parked cars, and watching Pokemon movies. And now you're like a fully grown adult with a wife. You have a wife,
I know. I'm not a bachelor anymore.
and you're like, "Excuse me, wife. I'm gonna go watch a Pokemon movie." A movie about the Pokemon, the
you
cute
call
little
Rachel a wife now, right?
pocket monsters.
You also have to do that according to the law.
I am not allowed to refer to her as the Borat voice, my wife. That's a rule that was made before we got married.
Was that in your wedding vows?
Really?
No.
Rachel was like, look, you can call me anything. You can never call me my wife.
Guys, what if that was what if that impression was in your wedding vows? So you went, and not only what if, but how many people have literally done this? And the answer is probably thousands, where they said,
I take you to be my wife.
yeah, exactly. Darlene, this journey we've been on together has been so special, and we've learned and grown together, and we've laughed and loved and cried, and I just can't wait to make you my wife.
My wife.
And then turns to the congregation looking for laughter and applause. And then he turns back around and his wife is gone.
It's already left.
Yeah, his fiance, I guess. Well, or his ex-girlfriend at that point. So you're married. You're back from London.
Yeah.
You picked up an accent while you were gone.
A little bit. I'm sorry. A smash.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Earlier, he walked into my apartment and he was like, "Oh, what a jolly good flat you have." Sorry, Matt. I mean, what a cool. And he said it like this. He said, "What a cool apartment."
What I like about your new accent is that you're also using antiquated lingo.
Yeah.
And not what they normally say. But I like that. I like that your accent is adds a little bit of some old timey flair.
I don't know what you mean, chat.
He called me a blilly popper, which I think is what he made up. Guys,
No, that sounds real.
do you know what this episode is?
Nope.
Today, the day that this episode comes out, is November 7th. It's our... Wait, hold on.
That can't be right.
It's a November 6th.
There we go.
And it's our
My wife's
Election
birthday.
Day special.
Oh, in the midterms, I thought?
It's our election special.
the election special,
Ooh,
yes.
so spooky. So spooky. What's going to happen? Is
Yeah, voting's pretty spooky.
is the government going to begin to function again like a horrible oppressive force that destroys us all, or is it going to be a malevolent, mutant, evil demagoguery that has been destroying us all?
I think the second thing, more than likely.
All right.
I mean, seeing as things have gone now, hopefully we can take back the house, but let's see.
Guys, go vote. You need to go vote.
Yeah.
You need to go vote and vote right.
Wait, hold on. This is coming out on November 6th, you
Yes.
say? You better post this early in the fucking morning.
Yeah, I
Listen to this
figure-
and immediately go out and vote.
Immediately
and vote,
listen.
And again, vote right. Like we don't want to okay, everyone
vote
should
correctly.
Oh. Yes. Guys, vote correctly. Vote
Vote
the correct
please.
way. And listen, I know, like I said, the government's always going to suck, right? Like, and every politician's always going to do a bad thing. But, like, there's some, not this bad, right? Like, there's a level of bad that has been exceeded. Just vote correctly. And if you're thinking of voting incorrectly, then you can stay home. Then stay home and listen to our podcast about Pokemon.
Stop listening to our
Also,
podcast.
like,
Actually,
there's-
if you're a fucking fascist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We have about a decade to sort of save our planet, not even to make it better, but just to keep preventing it from completely, crumbling the next 10 years. Right. And if you vote people in who don't believe in climate change, we don't even have a hope.
Right, and
So please.
and just respect other human beings, right? Like, if you vote somebody in who thinks that other human beings are born less than them, what the fuck are you doing, man?
If you're listening to this and you haven't yet, please just go vote. Vote with your heart and be kind.
Yeah, be kind.
And don't be a fucking scumbag fascist.
Yeah, don't be like a literal Nazi.
Don't be a piece of shit.
Don't be a literal. And if you are
Please. Please.
if you're a literal Nazi, you can stop listening
Fuck
to
off.
this show. yeah. You can.
We'll find you.
And punch you.
Oh, and if you're in the middle of writing a tweet to one of us about how you don't want to hear politics on the show and like this is ruining your experience of whatever, you can fucking delete that. I don't want to read.
Also,
I don't
everything
care,
is
and I will block you.
Political. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but everything that we experience is political. So go fuck yourself.
Right, and regardless of the Pokemon movies' views on slavery, mostly the Pokemon movies on the good side of the mostly it's all about friendship and caring about each other. So vote as if you're friends with everybody and you care about people. Okay.
Yes.
And don't not vote. That would be even
That's
shittier.
also
that would be the shittiest thing you can do.
a bad choice.
Unless you're gonna vote wrong, then don't vote.
So,
Guys, you want to talk about the Pokemon?
we-
It's a
yeah,
mini-sode.
sorry.
It's a mini-sode, and we're going to be talking about Camp Pikachu. How excited are you?
so excited.
Well,
Just really excited. No. More excited than I have been for any other video that we've seen, any other movie we've watched. I'm the most excited to do this one.
This movie shown before Pokemon Heroes Latios and Latias.
Okay.
Or was on the DVD. It's hard to tell. I thought Latios and Latios was the last theatrical release.
Right.
But that might not have been true. It might have been straight to DVD. But this is the accompanying Pikachu short. Guys, how do you feel?
Ugh.
Yeah.
It sucked. This is the worst of the
I was
Pokemon shorts.
literally
It's the most-
angry.
It's the most bizarre, for sure. No, it's not the most bizarre. Actually, that's something you can take away from it. It wasn't bizarre enough.
Yeah, it was
just
banal,
Weird.
Yeah.
banal, if you will. There's some weird stuff in it. They're more like weird choices rather than
Yeah.
just being an absurdist piece.
All right. Do you want to just get in? This is supposed to be a mini-sode, so should we just get into it? We haven't talked about Pokemon, and we're at least 10 minutes in.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess. I like that part where we were chatting, though. That felt nice.
It felt nice. It'll feel worse if next week we have to chat about politics in a different way.
Oh, yeah.
I will make this a political podcast. Can't stop me.
Yeah. Okay.
It will happen.
Yeah, here's fucking incentive. If you don't vote the correct way, we will rant about politics at the beginning of every episode if this goes south, if this goes
100%.
wrong.
So anyway, a train starts pulling through. Here comes the freight train, the narrator says.
Yeah, this narrator, dude. Like, we asked for more narrator. What a mistake.
We asked for more narrator because we wanted clarification on what they were saying, but they added more narrator without fixing that problem.
Right.
Yeah.
It's still, everything the Pokemon are doing is still confusing, but the narrator's here to show us the stuff that the animators already did. Like, whoop, here comes a train, and look who's on it. Your best friends, the Pichu brothers. And we see those dudes from that Big City Pikachu.
Yes.
Yeah. They're train hopping, too, which is pretty punk rock.
And they're covered in dirt, so they're like gutter punk Pikachus.
Yeah. So that's a good start.
Punkachus, if you would.
Oh boy.
Or
Oh
hobos. You
jeez.
could also...
Yeah, it shows them, and there's like this country music, like banjo twanging in the
This
background.
is the most bizarre music. This is like some flat-foot and shit. I have not heard since I've been in Virginia. Like, this is some bluegrass weird shit. I don't know. This song, like, I had to go back and listen to it, and I was like, this sounds like from the
it's
foothills.
like some deliverance.
I think this is the way that Japan views Americana, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense, actually. That makes a lot of sense.
So they're riding around on top of this train, and then they get hit by those. Okay,
It's just like a sandbag. It's a sandbag hanging from a pole.
right. This is in
Swinging around.
so
I
many
don't-
cartoons. Is this in real life that when you're on a train, there's just occasionally a pole with a bag full of whatever hanging off of it?
I guess.
I don't know. I assume maybe it's a steam engine thing. Like
Right.
it's some sort of signal.
Like, cartoons couldn't have invented it, right?
Yeah, I'm sure.
So the Pichu brothers hit the sandbag, and somehow they
You real quick, just to go back, that sandbag that hangs off the side of a freight train.
Wait, actually, you know what that is?
It's to turn the signal. Like when they were going down this track, there's a little switch that would go on the signal to switch the track. And the sandbag that was hanging off, it would be heavy enough to kind of push the switch instead of someone like putting their hand out.
Interesting.
It goes in, like,
Where did you learn this?
No, this is. I lived in Virginia.
Okay.
No, but this is just like there were some old railroad cars, and I've seen it also like on movies and shows and stuff like that. It's not
So
like
you lived in
something I've
in
studied.
Virginia. You learned this from a rock candy mountain hobo.
From my father was a train conductor. Actually, technically, that's not entirely untrue. He worked for a railroad company years and years ago. Anyway,
Wild.
Okay, so all right, let me talk about the physics of this moment because they are traveling on a train that is moving. How fast does a train move generally? Make it up. A lie.
Actually,
Somebody lie to me. You can make it up.
let me see. Depending on what kind of train it is, what kind of train are we talking about? A freight train?
Whatever train Pichu and Pichu
Probably like
were on.
smart Pichu and
like,
dumb Pichu.
Probably like 120 miles an hour. Depending.
Okay, so they're moving 125 miles an hour in a trainward direction. They hit a sandbag at 125 miles an hour. It flings them off the opposite direction
Was
at
for like half mile.
roughly
Half mile through the
at
air.
250, like double. Like so this is surmising that if you're driving a car, right? If you're driving a car and you crash into a wall. If you're driving a car at 60 miles an hour and you crash into a wall, you're going to fly off in the other direction at 120 miles an hour.
Can I correct myself? Because I just looked it up, so it's way off. I'm like, I'm like so far off. It says 60 miles per hour for freight trains. So I was literally 60 miles off.
You were
per hour. So
you were
there
double.
there goes my railway knowledge.
Now I don't trust this thing about the sandbag either.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't. You more than likely shouldn't. I'm really good
Guys,
at lying.
tweet at Ashley correct
Oh no,
everything she
please!
said about trains.
I welcome
Yeah.
the corrections.
Just send her train facts.
Don't no. This
Send your
is
train facts for the next month.
No joke.
November
No, no,
is
no, no,
train
no.
month for Ashley.
100%. This is not a joke. I'm very interested in train knowledge. So if you want to do that, you go fuck for it because I am.
This is
ready.
great. Please at Ash Stoneman
Yes, all train facts.
and hashtag train facts and just send her a train fact like every day. Please, please, please.
Done.
This will be so
you
entertaining
guys,
for us
I
to
love
read.
this. I love this
Okay.
idea.
So, anyway, the two Pichus, they bounce off the sandbag at like a crazy speed, and they fly over the tree line, and they land on a tree branch where a why not, a baby Wabuffet, is sitting.
A why not?
Why not?
It's called a why.
His name is called Why Not, and he always says Why not?
Why not?
Why not? Why not?
Which is the
Why
first
not?
Pokemon whose
Why not?
name figures into the dialogue.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
and he's interacting with the narrator, which is weird as hell. I don't think we've gotten there yet, but like the
It's like he's the Deadpool
Yeah.
of Pokemon.
Why not?
Okay, so they land on the branch with the why not. The branch flings them all back over the tree line again. Like this is the ballistics on this are crazy.
yeah, they're going nuts.
And they fly through the air and they land on a Pokemon.
It's Psyduck.
The first appearance of
I was
Sorry,
waiting.
Matt was looking at me anticipatingly, and I was just getting more and more excited as I realized what he was hinting at. Psyduck makes his first appearance. You hear him a second before you see him, which is even better. But he plays a pretty major part in this one. He like sets up all the obstacles. It's really cool.
I would call Psyduck a main. I would say this is Psyduck's first turn as a main character in a Pokemon movie.
He's still like a tertiary character because they're revolving around the Pichu brothers. It's called Camp Pikachu because Pikachu is heavily
Okay, so you're
involved.
saying the Pichu brothers are the main character. Pichu is the main character. Pikachu and Why Not are the secondary characters, and you're calling all the other Pokemon the tertiary characters.
Why
I
not?
would call Psyduck a tertiary. Everybody else falls below, and then at the very bottom, I think is Meowth and Wobbuffet.
Wobbuffet. That's a bad Wobbuffet.
Yeah.
Everyone do a good Wobbuffet.
Oh, I can't.
Wobbuffet.
Wobbuffet.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah, good enough.
Why not?
Was it a sandbag that they hit on the train? Just to go back to that really quickly. Is that what they hit?
I don't
like
know. It was like
sandbag?
bag.
I think so. It's
So-
a bag.
It was
looks
just a
like it's
heavy
full of
bag.
sand.
So there's that, like the switching, like flipping the switch thing from the turn signal from green to red. There's also the mail bag, the catcher pouch, like because they would go by and like actually catch the mail.
So
well.
This has been Ashley Stone reads Wikipedia.
Are you looking up train facts right now,
Nope,
Ashley?
this is just searching my
In the
phone
middle of our
knowledge.
recording?
Nope.
Maybe it was a mailbag. Maybe they hit a
It was catcher bag. It
mailbag.
was a mail bag
Yeah.
that used. Yeah. Was it a mail bag? Because it was a sandbag. Like it's the other thing that I'm talking about. But the
It
mail
looked
the
like
mail,
a sandbag.
Okay, but the mail bag's the thing that they would catch the mail. Bag.
Ashley, give us one more. Give us one more train fact.
Okay.
Yeah, what's some other bag?
What's that?
Another bag. Either a train fact or a bag fact. It doesn't matter.
Let's do another train fact.
Shit. Fuck.
Did you know that there was an abandoned subway station near City Hall in New York City that no train stopped at? But you can see it passing if you take the number 6 train.
Whoa.
Did you know this?
Is that the one in Ghostbusters? Ghostbusters 2?
Yes.
Is it the one in
I have no
Hey
idea.
Arnold that takes them to
Actually,
hell
I
or
think it
whatever?
is the one in Ghostbusters.
Nice.
Okay.
Is it the one in Die Hard with a Vengeance?
Yes. I have no idea.
Die Hard with a Vengeance has
Nice.
a ghost train?
No, but it's got abandoned subway tunnels that they use to transport gold. Did you know that
What?
I have a Die Hard with a Vengeance fact. if you
Okay,
want to
Yes.
get into
okay. Let's do one Die Hard with a Vengeance fact. Then we'll do a bag fact from Ashley, and then I'll have a bag fact.
Oh, I need a bag fact? Okay.
What were you gonna say? No. You have a train fact.
I have another train fact. I think one you'll like.
Okay. All right. We'll do a Die Hard with a Vengeance fact, a train fact from Ashley, and then I'll have a bag fact by then.
So the Die Hard with a Vengeance, the villains in that are trying to rob a gold storage in New York City. That is a gold storage locker in New York City that is supposedly bigger than Fort Knox, like it has more gold in it than Fort Knox. And the writers of that movie were actually questioned by the FBI after the movie came out because they had assumed that nobody knew about this secret stash of gold in New York. So they had to, it was pretty wild. That's my fact.
Ooh. Hey.
Spooky.
That's a good fact.
That's a good fact. That's a good.
Here's a train fact for Matt. The train, the Hogwarts Express train, used in Harry Potter, is an actual train that runs every day in Scotland.
And it's called 9 3/4 platform. It's like.
Yes, it's called It's called by the platform. Is that what you're asking? You're
I
actually
don't know.
asking
I'm trying to read facts about bags very quickly.
You're asking me if the train is called platform 9.5, 9 3/4.
Yes.
Okay, no.
Okay. Thank you.
That's 2 train facts. All right, Matt, hit us with a bag fact.
Women in ancient Egypt wore bags.
Whoa. They've been using bags for so long.
Okay. Well, actually, here's an actual bag fact. One of the first inventions was actually by a woman, and it was a bag, but it was like a sling in order to hold her carry her baby in. So the first invention ever was actually an invention to hold a baby by a woman.
The cursor to the bag.
It's a baby bag, and it was invented by a female
bag.
kangaroo, and
The baby beau.
and they still use it to this day. Okay.
Yes.
When right after the Pichu land on the Psyduck, there's a huge big reunion. Like, oh man, I haven't seen you in so long, and everyone's so excited.
Pikachu and Pichu are very excited to see each other again.
And then they all play some sort of crazy game. Like, all the Pokemon start playing some sort of game. This is what you were talking about like the narrator still not helping us out.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't think it's that complicated. I think they're just popping behind trees and then popping back out.
And yelling at each other.
A crowd of Pokemon is just laughing at it. Highly entertained.
But we have an audience surrogate because they show Psyduck, and he is as fucking confused as we are.
Yeah.
He's just grabbing his head because the pain is his migraine is so bad, and he's looking around. He's like, Psy-yi-yi.
That's why he's my guy.
That was a good Psyduck impression, by the way. Congrats on that.
Hey, thanks.
So we get no explanation as to why Ash and Misty and Brock's Pokemon are here.
Just in the middle of the woods hanging out.
Yeah, they've just gone off on their own. And
In the middle of Appalachia.
Yeah.
The Pikachu brothers, the smart one and the dumb one, they start showing all the other Pokemon what happened to them, and they start imitating a train, and why not imitate a train? And then the narrator says, looks like they need to get to a train station. And it's like, I guess that's helpful, but also you're the worst. I need less of you.
Yeah, and they're just I'm embarrassed for them acting out a train the way that they did. It seems
undignified.
Yeah.
For an animal with magic powers?
Yeah, you can just say it. You're able to communicate with each other, but you're choosing to do an elaborate dance.
You're right. They can speak each other's language.
Yeah.
So it would be like if you showed up at my house and I needed to catch a train, And instead of saying, Pat, I need to leave soon because I got to catch a train, I started going, chugga, 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 like I started walking around my living room, acting like a train.
Yeah.
And then showing you my wrist like it's my watch.
You're like, 2 words. Sounds like
2 words? Train late.
But so then, because the Pokemon can understand the narrator now, he explains that they need to find a train station, and the Pokemon are like, "Oh yeah, we can make that happen."
Yeah, who can communicate with who is such a wild, like, it's like Looper up in this piece. I can't figure out anything. There's so many threads to tie together. And then the craziest theme song we've ever heard plays.
Is everybody ready? Come on down to Camp Pikachu. It's a Pokemon hoedown. We'll show you what to do. We'll swim in the river and roll down the hill. We'll light a campfire with Cyndaquil. It's a Pokemon hoedown. Grab your partner, spin them all around. Spin them to the left, spin them to the right. Throw them in the air, we can dance all night. 1, 2, 3, 4. The great outdoors is our back door. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're camping out and feeling fine. Come on.
And I know we've said that before, but this is the craziest theme
Oh
song.
man, this one is good.
I almost guarantee it's playing right now behind our voices, but like,
oh yeah,
holy
it does.
shit, guys.
And in the morning, when the sun comes up, we'll start all over again.
It's good, right? Like, this theme song kicked in, and I was like, wow, this is really lame. And then I was like, wait, this one is owning how lame it is so hard. Like, this guy is just going for it. This is the best Pokemon theme song
Yes.
we've heard.
Yeah, he is truly unashamed. It's like an electronic mix of a I don't know.
Clearly it's a younger person pretending to be an old grizzled country singer.
You're right. And for a second, you're like, wait a second, why does this kind of slap? Like, why do I kind of like this a little bit?
I know. And
Real quick, did you guys know that a train system was built that connects France and the UK via a tunnel called the Channel Tunnel, or the Channel Tunnel?
Yes.
As well as a high-speed passenger system. I actually did know that one, so that's something.
I didn't know that one. In the
you
song,
didn't?
though, did you guys know that in the song he says the words Pokemon hoedown?
Yes, that's the name of it. And part of the dance that is the Pokemon Hoedown is throwing your partner into the ground. Which doesn't specify which partner. It seems like both of you have to try to throw each other into the ground.
This guy's also singing voice, like he went for it, but his singing voice was so bad.
It's very, you could tell this is right around the time that the Oh Brother Where Art Thou soundtrack was topping the charts.
But also, you could tell that they only did one take.
Yes.
They're all wandering during this theme song. They're all wandering around the woods, just like getting in like hijinks or whatever, and they find some grapes. This is what takes us out of the theme song, right?
Yeah.
They find some grapes hanging on a tree, and it turns out it's not a tree.
Why not?
It's
A Pokemon that looks like a tree.
It's a Pokemon that looks like a tree. His name is Pseudo-Woodo because like he's rock. He's made of rock, but he's rock that looks like a tree. So he's Pseudo-Wood. Oh.
That's such a... Oh, man. They got so bad at this.
Yes. I stopped caring after I heard Why Not. I was like, I cannot believe this. This is too much.
Yeah.
You named a character Why Not.
Why not?
Like, listen to yourselves. Like, no one stopped around that writing room and was like, I have a new name for a character. And like, what? Why not? And no one was like, I want you to go back to your office and sit there and think about what you've done.
So Pseudo-Woodo starts torturing them, especially Why Not, with grapes. And he's like, you can't have these grapes. These are my grapes. Just give him some grapes, dude.
Well, I mean, everybody's got to eat, right? They are his grapes.
They are his grapes.
He went out and found them, and the Pichu boys are just coming through and trying to steal them.
Yeah, but you are a thing that lives in the woods. You know where to find grapes. You find grapes all the time. You found 7 grapes today. And then a gaggle of city Pokemon come along, and they're like, oh, we're so hungry. We're dying of starvation. 2 of us are brothers, and one of us is the dumb one. You're not like, all right, dudes, you can have my grapes.
Yeah, I mean, I would, but I cannot remember.
Pseudo-Widow.
The Pseudo-Widow might not. That's his thing. He found some food. He's going to eat it. Like, if I were eating dinner that I had thought about all day, and a group of Pokemon came along and were like, I'm hungry. As you know, I don't give my dinner to my cat.
You're right. But you would give... If you... All right, I'm in. You're right.
It would have been a kind thing to do, but it was also rude of them. They didn't need food at the time. They were doing just fine. It's been like 10 minutes that you've been on this adventure.
And if they hadn't been doing the hoedown so hard, they'd probably still have energy. Then we cut to your favorites, Meowth and Wobbuffet.
Yeah. Meowth and Warren Buffett.
Wobbuffet. They've just been, I guess, wandering desperately through this mountain trail. They are tired and hungry and are sure that they're close to the train station so that they can at least sit down and try to plan out their next steps.
Because they're homeless now. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Why is Meowth always lost? Why is he always like not? First of all, why is he not always with the other Pokemon? Second, why is he always just sort of like alone? I know we'd explain this because like he's his own entrepreneur now and he has to make his own living. But why is he now he has Wobbuffet with him? What the hell?
Here's my best thought. Okay, the regular movies are a continuity, right? You can trace they live on the same timeline. One movie follows the next, and there's stuff that happens in between, but one movie. So I'm guessing that the Pikachu shorts are on a timeline that is separate from the movies and the TV show.
See,
and this is a timeline. This is a timeline in which Team Rocket has abandoned Meowth and Wobbuffet.
And eventually, yeah.
And they abandoned both of them. So this is like at the end of the series or whatever. They abandoned both Meowth and Wobbuffet. Meowth gets a bunch of odd jobs to support himself. Eventually finds Wobbuffet and like starts bringing him along with him. And this is just like the adventures of a homeless Meowth and Wobbuffet in the background of all these Pikachu shorts.
That makes a lot more sense. Now this is running on a different timeline. Like I can accept that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair theory. What I don't understand is why are we so mad at Meowth and Wobbuffet that we are taking pleasure in their misfortune?
Misery.
Like, they just show up, they're miserable, and then things continue to get worse for them, and that's supposed to be our comic relief.
That's true. If you're not already mad at Meowth and Wobbuffet, they start off as low status characters, they get shit on throughout the whole thing, and then they leave as low status characters.
Yeah, in the worst possible way usually.
Like they usually get exploded off into the sky.
Poor guys.
Poor dudes.
They're looking for a train station. They fall down a hill for no reason. It's much like Ash. They just can't figure out how to walk correctly.
Yeah.
Then it cuts away from them, right?
Yeah, that's all they get for now.
Then all the other Pokemon are fighting, are having like a water fight at a waterfall.
Yeah, it seems like a good time they're having.
They seem to be enjoying themselves.
They figure out a little system where, who is it, Totodile, can use his water blast attack to send them up to the top of the waterfall, and then they can just slide down to the bottom. It's like a little water park.
They might be starving to death because they're acting like they haven't found food in a long time, and 2 of them they're all lost hopelessly in the woods, but they still find the time to like play in a waterfall, shoot water at each other.
Why not?
Use their literal attacks on it. That's another thing, is I can't get over the fact that when Pokemon do this, like shoot water out of their face or whatever, that's like literally an attack.
That's an attack move.
That's an attack that always does damage every time. So they're attacking each other. They're damaging each other every time they do this.
Why is Psyduck freaking out? Because isn't he a water Pokemon?
Yeah, he seems really upset by the whole waterfall
Yeah.
business.
Like, he looks like he's
I mean,
drowning, and he's...
he ended up going head first and way faster than everybody else, and I think he just got freaked out.
You
But
think
he's splashing around like he can't swim. I was like, but I thought he was... He was a water Pokemon.
He just tried to do too much too fast.
Yeah, he was just scared. He started panicking. It's Psyduck, you know?
It happens. Yeah, Psyduck never really has like a full grasp on everything that's going on around him, right?
Yeah. He doesn't seem like he's really cognizant of anything
But he does
happening.
seem like I agree with Ashley though. It does seem like of the things that he doesn't have a full grasp on, water should be low on that list.
Yeah, you'd think so.
Fair.
It seems like his two strengths should be headaches and water.
Why not?
So, yeah, they're all playing in a waterfall. Then they start playing with shadows. Like, the sun starts going down, and they all start, like, playing with their shadows on a wall.
Yeah, they just see their shadows on a wall, and once again are highly entertained. This is the peak of fun for them.
This is like a life or death moment for all of them, and yet they are just having the time of their lives. They light a campfire.
Oh yeah, this is the first indication that they're actually camping in Camp Pikachu.
Right.
That's another thing. It's called Camp Pikachu, but there's no camp. There's no like that would lead you to believe that they are at like a sleepaway camp, like they were in like all the other movies.
Yeah.
Yet this is the only movie in which they are not at a sleepaway camp, and yet it's called Camp Pikachu. And they do some camping. They sleep outside by
It is. It's camping out of desperation though, because they're lost in the woods.
right. And it's a good thing this is our Election Day special, because things get spooky here.
Yeah.
Who is it?
The smart Pichu, I think.
Smart Pichu wanders off into the woods, and he starts seeing little movements and hearing sounds.
Do 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 do.
It's a ghost!
Not really
Pokemon.
a ghost.
It's a ghost Pokemon. Yeah, okay, here's a good time for us to talk about what are ghost Pokemon, guys? Are they
Yeah,
the
they're
dead
ghosts.
spirits of human beings that when the human beings die, their ghosts turn into Pokemon? Or
they're-
are they the spirits of dead Pokemon? Or are they just regular ass Pokemon that kind of seem like ghosts, so people call them ghost Pokemon?
They're always like a gaseous or a plasma form. So I think maybe people just saw them or were like, oh, that seems like a ghost. Except they all look creepy as hell. Like they look like
This
like
one,
terrifying creatures.
this one's name's Duskull, and it has a fucking skull for a face.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know. It's kind of a confusing thing. I mean, my first guess would be that they are dead Pokemon, but then again, which dead Pokemon would they be?
I think their nightmares come to life.
Okay.
Okay, so there are many things that birth a Pokemon, and you're saying one of them is a nightmare that's come to life.
Yes.
Okay.
Pokemon's nightmare that has just taken form in the real world.
So this Pokemon is a nightmare to this little Pichu until the narrator tells us helpfully, don't worry, this Duskull is Why Not's friend.
Why not?
Yeah.
Damn it, I hate it
It's a
so
very
much.
it's a quick jab at the writing of this, I think, at that at that point the narrator announces that they're actually friends. It's not scary, and why not?
It's like, wow, yeah, why not?
Yeah, this works, I guess.
So Why Not and Pichu come up with a little scheme to have Duskull scare everybody by the fire, and everyone gets a little spooked, but not too spooked, and then everyone has a good laugh about it. But, like, Duskull then leaves, and, like, for a minute I was like, okay, Duskull, here's a plot. Here's a plot to this thing. They're all on their way to the train, and this is the thing that gets in their way. This is the hindrance. This is the obstacle. But no, he's just friends with them, and he does a little joke, and he leaves, and he's gone for the rest of the thing.
And then he does pop
does
up
pop
back
back up,
once just to terrorize Meowth and Wobbuffet again.
So I'm like, fucking, okay, there was a plot for a second, and now it's gone. But then the real plot of every Pokemon Pikachu short, weather starts happening. It starts raining, And that is apparently the biggest deal that's happened to them all day.
Yeah, they come up with a quick solution, though. They each find a different sized leaf.
Well, a Volbeat shows up, and the narrator's like, Volbeat's not bothered by the rain. He has a solution for the Pokemon. And the solution is just put a leaf on your head.
Right. Oh, by the way, did you guys know that in 1916 there was 254,000 miles of railway track in the United States, and today there's less than 170,000.
What? It's gone down?
It's gone. Well, yeah, because of automotives and all that.
You thought train usage had gone
you
up?
You thought it would escalate for some reason.
People love trains.
I love trains. Trains are great.
Yeah,
but
listen
still,
to Ashley.
trains are the best, but still, like, with the invention of the automobile, I don't see a reason why people wouldn't want to travel individually and, destroy the ozone layer.
Would you guys ever take a cross-country train?
100%.
Like in New York, California?
1,000% would. I've actually been trying to, like, plan a trip this way. Like, where there's a sleeper car and a diner car and all that goodness. Like, I really, really want to do this.
Damn.
I took a train from here to Rochester, I want to say, and it was so much fun, guys. Trains are the best.
So they're walking through the rain. Totodile fucking loves it. He's dancing around and he's splashing on Cyndaquil, and Cyndaquil is probably dying because he's getting covered in water, and his like literal life
fire
essence is
type.
fire. And then they find an old, this old creepy abandoned watermill.
A watermill. The narrator's pretty juiced about this one.
Yeah, the narrator has a background in grinding wheat, I guess. Then we cut back to Buffett and Meowth, who are being terrorized by this Duskull.
For no reason. He's just joining in on the...
And he has no idea that these two are Team Rocket.
Yeah, he just doesn't like him, so he's being mean to him.
And they accidentally stumble into this same watermill.
Yeah, they run for cover from a
terrorist.
And just bump into the switch to turn the watermill on to start the full works.
Right before that, I have a question, because they go into the watermill, and Meowth goes, "Hey, it looks like this joint is empty." And then it cuts up to the other Pokemon that are sleeping in there, and all of them are snoring as loud as possible. There's like 20 Pokemon, and they're all snoring as loud as possible. Meowth, you're in an empty building with 20 snoring. Like, how do you not hear that?
Yeah, you're wrong on this one, dude.
Plus, you're a cat. You should be able to hear everything. But yeah, he bumps into a switch. And this is another crazy thing, because it starts the watermill, and they're just sleeping on a solid surface. All the Pokemon, they're sleeping on like the like a bunk in the watermill. But somehow by turning on the watermill, it makes all of them get like sucked up into the machinery.
Well, I think some of them were sleeping on the machinery, which is a mistake in itself. Like, if you're in a mill, just don't lounge around on the machinery. That's the rule.
Especially when it's a watermill, so you know a part of it is always moving. Right? You know that the machinery is functioning.
Yeah. You can't stop the river.
Right. They all go crazy. I don't know. They get sucked up in the machines. It's like a real madcap.
They keep jumping on and off the equipment as it's moving.
And the person that has it worst of all of them is Psyduck.
Yeah.
And they imply it's just because he's chubby. Because he's like trying to run, and he's like running like it's a treadmill, but he's getting so sweaty and exhausted.
How dare they shame
that guy's
him?
the best.
Forgot about that part. Did you guys know approximately 40% of freight cargo transported today occurs via rail and transit systems?
Not boats?
Not boats.
I mean, I bet it comes over on the boats, and then I cart all my freight on my back like a man.
Good.
So the Pokemon destroy the watermill.
They do. They keep breaking things, but eventually find the switch, right? This is the true plot of the movie, from what I can tell.
Is this 30 seconds?
This short period where they get almost crushed to death by the turning gears of a wheat mill.
It really is man versus Pokemon versus machine in all these movies, right? Like the last one, their enemy was a lawnmower, and in this one, their enemy is a mill.
And 2 shorts ago, it was just the big city.
Yeah, the entire city was trying to kill them. Also, there's a moment in here where all of them are waking up, and they're all doing these yawns, but they're still saying their names. So it's like, Pikachu.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
And it's like, Togepi. And it's like, it's so much worse than them screaming at us. Like, it is like 80 Pokemon, I think like 80 at this point, all waking up and like yawning and saying their names, and it is more difficult to listen to than when all of them are screaming their own names at the same time. Did you guys feel this?
Well, yeah, I thought it was weird that a yawn was saying their name, because I thought saying their name was actual like verbal communication, and a yawn is just a noise. So it confuses me that they're saying their name while they yawn.
Right. It'd be like if, you wonder what they're saying. It'd be like if when I woke up, I was like, oh, waking up.
Oh, sleepy. Oh, opening eyes.
Shower,
mouth
shower,
open.
shower.
Breakfast. Shoes, coat.
So,
Car, drive.
but we do know that they say their own names and they're breathing, because in the last movie, when Pikachu was running, he was like,
Panting.
Yeah, he pants his own name. Or a part of his own name, which I guess would be like if I was running and I was like, run.
Oh my God, keep running.
So, the narrator tells us it's a beautiful day.
Again, show don't tell. You don't. Like, why doing the narration?
They all wash off in the river, and then it cuts back to me, and Volbeat leaves, and it cuts back to Meowth and Wobbuffet, and Meowth takes something out of his backpack, and he's like, this is the last of our food. This is gonna have to last for the rest of the trip. And he's holding, what is that? Like it's ball of dirt? A meatball?
Oh, I thought it was like a chocolate version of the coin that he has on his head. Like it was a gelt, but
Oh, was it not like bean cake?
A bean
a
cake?
bean cake.
Yeah.
Was it like a...
Like, like in Japanese and Korean food, like the bean cakes that they have?
Yeah.
Maybe it was a bean cake.
Could have been.
Or
That's
it could have been a
good
ball
source of protein.
It could have been a ball of dirt also, is my suggestion.
Anyway,
a ball
it's
of
their
dirt
very last piece of food.
It's the very last piece of food, which I guess we'll see how that plays out in the future movies. But a Skarmory, a steel bird, comes by and steals it, and they attack it, and now they're 100 feet high in the air.
Yeah, fighting for their last bite of food so they don't starve to death.
Meanwhile, all the Pokemon find the train.
Yeah, they just cut away from that.
These are these two Pokemon in
desperate
mortal
Pokemon fighting for their lives hundreds of feet above the ground.
Fighting for their last bit of food, starving to death.
And
They're
the
homeless.
narrator of this story is just saying, oh, look how nice it is out today. Everybody's skipping to the train.
Well, look at these two homeless vagabonds fighting for their last scrap of food and to not fall 100 feet to their death. Anyway, meanwhile, all the Pokemon find a train. They run after it. They miss the train. They find one of those rail carts where you go on either side and you pump it like a seesaw.
Which, again, I've only ever seen in cartoons. Ashley, do you have a train fact about those weird rail carts?
The rail carts? The things that, like, follow behind?
Yeah, this is like legitimately, Ashley, a part where we need a train fact.
Yeah.
Okay,
You know the one they use in the movie we just watched?
The what now?
We need facts.
Yeah, I've never seen one of those in real life.
I've
Oh,
only seen them in
okay,
cartoons.
yeah. Oh, you've only seen them in the cartoons?
I think maybe Looney Tunes invented them, and all
Okay.
cartoons have just been using them ever since because no one knows what a train is.
Oh, okay. I mean, I have actually seen these things in real life.
No!
Yes.
Because your dad was a train?
It wasn't, yes, actually a train. The hand car is what you mean, right, guys?
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
We need hand car facts.
Okay. A hand-powered car, also called a pump trolley, a pump
Nice.
car, or a jigger. Many of the earliest are operated by turning large cranks. It's likely the pump hand car with a reciprocated walking beam came later. Okay.
Why do they exist?
It's not clear who invented the hand car.
Read the Wikipedia.
It's
Read the
likely
Wikipedia.
Okay.
Can you typically use them to catch up with
no.
a train?
So, like, it says in modern day. So, in modern day usage, they are normally used by railway service personnel. The latter also known as Gandhi dancers.
Candy Dancer is definitely a Pokemon.
for railroad inspection and maintenance. Because of their low weight and small size, they can be put on and taken off the rails at any place, allowing trains to pass. Hand cars have been replaced by self-propelled vehicles. Yada yada yada. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, racing! People race these things, guys.
Oh man!
Oh, holy moly!
Now there's the rail car fact. A handrail car.
Guys want to go hand car racing?
Yes.
It looks like I'm looking at a bunch of old Victorian advertisements for them, and it looks like they were just used as cars. They can't make the hand cart move.
This way or mining car. It's a mining car. Hello? Sorry.
Why not shouts why not into the air,
Why
and a
not?
bunch of why nots appear and help them move the car.
Why not?
They're all just questioning reality. Why not? Why not? Why not?
Why not? Why not? Why not do anything? Why do I exist? Why not exist? Why not exist is the same question as why exist. You know what I mean, you guys?
Yeah.
No.
So they chase down the train. They get one Pichu brother on it, the dumb brother,
Presumably, yeah.
and
The smart one is like, oh no, I'll never make this leap.
but the dumb brother was right. Yeah, just by dumb luck.
Yeah. What? Sometimes the smart one just overthinks it, you know?
Do you think the dumb brother prefers to be called the luck brother? So they use the hand. They use the hand cart. They go up onto like a different track, and Cyndaquil speeds them up by shooting flame out the back of it.
Yeah, he uses his flame attack as a rocket.
That's
the cart,
not
which-
how that works, right? Like just okay. You can't just shoot flame behind you and it propels you forward, right? Isn't flame a byproduct of the actual mechanic the combustion that propels you forward? So either Cyndaquil has a combustion engine inside him that he can attach to things, or this is total bullshit.
Well, certainly not the second one.
Okay, so I guess it's the first one. So they shoot ahead. It propels the cart impossibly forward. The smart Pichu brother jumps off, is gonna miss the thing, and then gets shot by Totodile with a blast of water, and then finally lands with his brother on the train. They wave goodbye.
And they're taken care of.
That's the whole thing.
What Meowth and Wobbuffet do end up on that train. They had blasted off again earlier, which I thought would be the end of them. It usually is, but then something, maybe it's that bird they fought for their last bite of food, drops them in the coal car of the freight train.
Right. So now they look as pathetic and vagabondy as they are.
And they're grateful for it, you know. As beat up as they've been, as abused as they've been through this episode, they're still just thankful to have made a train, so they don't have to walk anymore.
Right, they couldn't be less of villains.
It's really sad. They don't get the food. The bird gets away with the food.
So they're starving to death on this train car, but they're just happy to be making it to, I guess, the big city.
Maybe they'll eat those fucking Pichus. Those things are annoying.
They are annoying. I agree.
Do you guys think we're ever going to see the Pichu brothers again?
The narrator
Probably.
suggests it at the end. He's like, next time maybe Pikachu can come visit the Pichu brothers.
But there's only
and why
one.
not is like, yeah, why not?
There's only one Pikachu
jeez.
short left. It's called "Gotta Dance." Mm-hmm. I guess it could be the Pichu brothers.
This is gonna be the worst one, isn't it?
It's gonna be worse than this one, which was the worst one. Was this the worst one, or was Pikachu's Peekaboo the worst one because of
Peekaboo
how
was
much of a
pretty bad.
disappointment?
I think this one was worse because I've come to see Pikachu's Peekaboo as sort of like an absurdist work of art.
Okay, so that's the end of the thing. We don't see a resolution. There's no humans in this one. Hey, guys, there ain't no humans in this one.
Yee,
That's true.
spooky.
What do you guys think? What did you guys think of this one?
I think I would like to read another train fact. Do you guys know that it trains? Do you guys know?
Yeah. Yeah, I
That
knew him.
the first
I know him. Yes, I know him.
You know these things called trains? You guys like
This
trains?
is just how you
Hey.
organically pull up
This-
facts, Ashley. These are all stored in your head, right?
This is my stand-up set. You guys like trains?
She's got to access the mental filing
Yeah.
cabinet that is
I
train.
think the first high-speed trains were Japan's electric bullet trains running between Tokyo and Osaka in 1964.
Yeah.
If your next train fact isn't about magnet trains, I'm gonna fucking flip over.
Oh my
this
god!
podcast.
Literally, the next one was about magnet trains.
Okay,
Japan's new magnetic levitation bullet train is now the fastest in the world. Japan Railway's latest mag level bullet train just broke its own record as the fastest train in the world. The bullet train traveled at 603 kilometers per hour. 374 miles per hour, blowing through last week's
fast?
top speed of 366 miles per hour.
I could run that, right?
April 22nd, 2015. You could run that?
like I couldn't
That's
run
good.
it. I couldn't run it for very long,
You could
Probably
run,
run it with magnets.
but I could run it for like a second.
You could run 374 miles per hour for a second.
For like a second.
For like a second? You could go
With
from
magnets.
0 to 374.
Okay, give me a running start, and then I could run 300 miles per hour for
374
like a
miles per hour
second,
for a second.
and then I'd have to slow back down, and I'd be really out of breath. But I could run it for a second. Okay, what did you think of this movie, Pat?
Overrated.
Overrated. Who rated it?
Somebody rated it an F, and Pat's like, oh, that's too much.
I don't care what you rated it. No, it's aimless. They don't settle on a thing. It's called Camp Pikachu, but they're not really setting out the camp.
There's
They're
barely
just-
a camp.
They've just gotten lost in the woods and don't know how to find their way out. It's not good.
It's not good. It's not. There's like, okay, for a series of short films, I'm doing mine now. For a series of short films that are generally pretty aimless and generally don't have like a strong plot and like a strong like driving force to the movie, this one has less. This one is almost nothing. This one has just people doing like Pokemon doing whatever for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And there's no beginning, there's no end, there's basically just a middle.
It's a day in the boring life.
Right. Ashley, how did you feel about this one?
I know. I think I've said this before, but I was like literally upset, just mad. I think what made me more upset was that like people put their kids in front of this shit and like raise them on it, and I'm just imagining the kid who was raised on like because I didn't watch all the Pokemon movies growing up, but like sitting through this garbage and imagining a kid watching this just nonsensical, no plot, no moral, like kind of garbage. Like it made me upset. I didn't like it.
Yeah, it's got no character development, it's got no plot, it's nothing. It's
There's
a lot of nothing.
I'll tell you
to
this
draw
much.
from it.
It's no train facts.
It's no train facts.
So boring too.
Yeah.
Unlike
Train facts are way better than this.
Unlike
I'd
train
rather.
facts, it was super boring.
Really was. Although, so to its credit, the one thing that I noticed about this is how quickly it went by. I feel like the other Pikachu shorts have been a slog. This one, at least, like after the 22 minutes, I was like, "Oh, all right, that was
a little
felt
snack.
like 22 minutes,
That
not
felt like a
like a
little-
full hour."
Yeah.
Blacked out from rage.
Not me, because I kept I was watching this thing and I just kept losing my attention, and I'd be like,
Yes.
I'd realize I'm 4 minutes ahead of the last thing that I watched, and I had to keep rewinding it. Watching this 22-minute short took me like 40 minutes. Ugh. All right, where would you guys? Okay, let's quick rank all our
Oh God.
Pikachu shorts.
As if.
Do you want me to start?
Please.
Do you guys have a baseline? Okay. Fuck, they're all so bad. I don't know.
I don't remember any.
Number
of them.
one
the
is
first one is the best, and
the second one's
all
the
each one that
second
we
it
best.
doesn't
watch
matter
is
where.
the worst.
Thanks.
You know what? I actually think that's true. That's actually how I would rate them. I think Pikachu's Vacation is the best, even though it's bad. Rescue Adventure is the second best. Pikachu and Pichu is third. Peekaboo is fourth, and Camp Pikachu is fifth.
Well, we only got one more to prove this theory. So.
Is that how you feel, Ashley?
Yeah. Generally.
This is the first consensus we've had on this.
Yeah.
Is it
all
just
right.
like each one gets
job,
worse
guys.
than the last?
Yes. 100%. None of these have been good, and the first one was probably just the best one out of them.
The closest to good, yeah. Although I liked the first one. I think that's where we've had our disagreements before.
Oh, you actually
It's
enjoyed it? Like, you liked it?
I'm legitimately like, yeah, this first one was all right.
Oh, because there's a dance number.
There is.
Wasn't there?
There's a dance-
Those,
there's a
like,
dance-
psychedelic scene transitions.
Yeah, those were so bizarre, but I
Wasn't
missed
the
them.
first one without a dance number?
Was there a dance number in Peekaboo? No, the last two have not
No.
had dance numbers.
Oh,
This
that's why they're
series has
so-
really gone downhill, you guys.
They are. Oh, closing credits on this one, by the way, were dancing Pokemon. That was actually kind of cool. All the Pokemon
Okay.
that were featured danced in front of children-drawn train tracks.
Why do they make these?
To entertain
Like,
kids, dude.
yeah, but they
make
could've-
shitloads of money.
They don't know. They're not making money off these. They're attaching these to the movies. They're selling the movies already.
Oh, true.
So why are they making these?
They're introducing new Pokemon through them, aren't they?
I guess
Or they
so.
have
This is
Something
the
like
first time
that,
we've seen
yeah.
Why Not. This is the first time we've seen Sudowoodo. This
Well,
is the
the-
first time we've seen Volbeat. So maybe it is just that, introducing people to new Pokemon to get them to be excited about them and buy like merchandise.
Yeah, and I think to get people out to the theaters, right? They're
It's-
like, oh, come see it in theaters so you can see
A double
the
feature.
Pikachu short.
Well, they can bill it as a double feature. When you bill something as a double
right.
feature, it sells tickets. But also, because these are children's movies and kids are their attention spans are 0.4 seconds. Like easing them into a movie, I think is like it helps them like pay attention more because they kind of like they can grab that. It kind of like gives them like a precursor to the film. So they're sitting there, they watch it, it grabs their attention, and then it can go right into the film, and they haven't lost speed.
Yeah, that's fair.
So in conclusion, guys, go vote. Go vote. Now turn the
Yeah,
Pokemon
seriously.
podcast
I
off
cannot stress it
and
enough.
please go vote and vote correctly and
Vote
just go vote.
correctly.
Why not?
Just go vote. Just care about human beings, okay? And that's gonna do it for us, guys. Thank you so much for listening to this mini-sode. You can please rate and okay, this is not as important as voting. You know what?
Yeah.
Forget everything. Don't contact us. Don't review us. Don't rate us. Don't email us. Just go vote. That's
Just
all
go
we need
vote
from you.
And send Ashley train facts if you have time after voting.
After you vote, will you please send me a bunch of train facts?
Yeah.
I'm very interested.
Okay, so let's end the next episode is going to be next Tuesday. We're sorry for missing a week, but Pat had to go get stupid married in stupid London.
Hell yeah.
Matrimony, am I right?
Next Tuesday is going to be the sixth Pokemon movie, our seventh, called Jirachi Wishmaker. Jirachi Wishmaker.
This is getting worse and worse.
I just cannot anymore.
All right, so we'll see you guys next week, and until next time,
Bye.
Bye.
Why not?